Hi, this is Michael Weisenfluh. I am the instructor for this course. This course being Excel, and this is the textbook that you're using. You don't have to buy this. I bought copies for you to check out from the library. I just ask that you take care of them and turn them back in at the end of the term, because the next student gets to use them, and I don't want to have to keep buying them because they turn up missing or whatever. So please do that. So the course is set up following the textbook. When you get it, you'll note, for example, in chapter 1, there's what's called a tutorial, where you go through the basic steps. It tells you what to do step by step for each thing, and each chapter has its own tutorial that increases the knowledge based on what's already been learned, and then building on that in subsequent chapters. For CAS170, we'll cover the first 4 chapters, and then additional 4 chapters for CAS171. So you'll be using this book for 2 terms. So after you do the tutorial, and if you get the textbook, the tutorial basically ends for chapter 1 on page EX34. And then after that, and those are kind of white pages. I don't know if you can see that. And then the kind of yellow pages, I don't know if you can see that, but you'll see when you get the text, starts the problems. And you'll do these problems. Some of them are, you'll open up an existing file, which I'll give you all those files. You open up an existing file and just prepare it based on what they tell you to do. So you're going to be starting sometimes from an established file, and other times you'll start from a blank Excel file and just build your own worksheet, and it'll always tell you that right at the top of each worksheet. So I don't assign all of the assignments in the workbook section, so you've got to apply your knowledge, extend your knowledge, and then it goes on from there. I'll tell you in the course, I don't know why that keeps going like this. I'll tell you in the course which assignments you need to do. After you do the assignments, save them on your computer, obviously, and then I provide an upload area where you upload those assignments. Anytime you have questions, feel free to email me, probably the best way to get hold of me. Also, if it's a more general question, there is in the Moodle site, which you'll see, something called a course Q&A forum, and that you can ask questions there that maybe other students have the same question, and I can answer it once there or whatever. So either way you want to do it, you can use the course Q&A forum or just email me directly. For each assignment for both CAS and CAS171, you have 2 weeks to go through each chapter. They're fairly in-depth, especially as you get later on in the book. On the assignments, they get a little more detailed, so it takes a little bit more time. And then there's periodic tests, which test you over the material that you do. The assignments are due. They'll be due when I tell you they're due in the Moodle site. And once they become past due, then penalties start assessing on those, and after a while they're not worth anything. So try to get them in as soon as possible, and I think they're spread out enough you shouldn't have any problem. And I did this out of fairness for everyone, because people were turning it in on time, and then others were turning in weeks and weeks late, and it's not fair to you guys that are doing stuff on time that I gave you the same points as someone who turns it in late. The test, you have 1 week to do the test or the quiz when I post it, at which time it becomes unavailable. So make sure you do that when you see it, and get it done within that week. So on the assignments, I'm not necessarily looking for perfection. I'm more looking for that you're grasping the main concepts. So don't freak out if things aren't exactly right. I'll point out to you if there's things that are off a little bit and how you could have maybe done it better. You don't necessarily have to turn it in. I may just tell you you would have been better to do this here in this cell, but you don't need to resubmit. Other times, if it is a little messed up, I may ask you, give you some direction, and then ask you to resubmit it. So just watch that when I give you the feedback on the assignments. I think that's pretty much it. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me, as I said, probably the best way to get hold of me, and I look forward to seeing you in class.